You are listening to the Modern Polyamory podcast, a podcast all about polyamory, ethical non-monogamy, swinging, kinks, and more. Now, let's get on to the show. Okay. Hi, I'm Jan.
I'm Kyle.
And this is Modern Polyamory's Gravy Boat of Knowledge.
It's back again.
We are back again with more poly terms for you.
Absolutely.
So
more gravy right down your throat.
I will let you be the first to take the gravy down your throat.
Okay, here we go. Lube me up. ANR. Do you know what ANR means?
I do not know what ANR means.
It is an adult nursing relationship, a relationship where one partner breastfeeds the other, often in a romantic or erotic context.
Does this involve just the act of sucking, or does this involve the act of drinking?
Great question.
Do you know?
No.
Okay. So, if anyone happens to know about this kink, we would love to find out about it.
Yeah.
Come on our Discord server. We actually have some NSFW
Yes, we have some
chats, and the kink chat would be a perfect place to educate all of us about this because I have no idea. Jeez.
I know, it's a hot one right out the gate.
Jeez. What is in here? Now I'm scared.
You said you knew.
I did, but I didn't think about that one. I don't know.
What happened?
Okay. Limerence affair. So this is like one of those buzzwords that's been coming up a lot in polyamory.
Yeah, it's like that thing it's like a poem, right? Like a limerick.
That's a limerick.
Oh.
and no, the man from Nantucket has nothing to do with it.
Damn it.
So this is a form of non-monogamy. A limerence affair is a passionate but usually fleeting extramarital or poly relationship.
Oh.
So this is that one that got away.
Okay. Like, would you have had hooked up, or is it just like, I felt things and then they were gone? Can it be a one-sided?
I think it can definitely, one-sided limerence is definitely a thing. It usually it's fleeting because it's one side.
Okay, so
because if it's both people and it's hot and heavy and they want to keep doing it, they're going to keep doing it. But
I might actually look that up later.
Yes, this is the one that
might happen this time.
right. This is the one that blows up and then.
Sure.
But it was beautiful, and then you talk about how beautiful it was for the rest of your life.
Maybe you keep it secret.
Or if it's clandestine, then it's not consensual monogamy. But a limerence affair is the one that got away. The beautiful one that was perfect, but maybe not the right time.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right.
I like the limerence. I started seeing the word and I had to know. I was like, what is this about? Well, it's for you. Oh,
well,
2 in a row?
2 in a row. I'm spoiling her.
I'm spoiled. Open relationship.
Open relationship.
A broad term for a non-monogamous relationship where partners can explore other sexual relationships. This is the way that non-monogamy was introduced to me.
Right. This is kind of like how it starts.
This is how it starts. And for me, it started at 19 when I hooked up with my husband now, who I'm with still. And he was kind of like, one day he said to me, just so you know, I don't really do monogamy. And I'm just like, what does that even mean? And he said, well, like I do open relationships. And so for a while, I didn't really utilize it. We would have threesomes occasionally.
Right.
So it was kind of very like sexual based. We just never had threesomes with like the stranger like they tell you to do. It was always like the friend.
Right, yeah. That's usually
like maybe you shouldn't maybe not fuck your friend.
I mean, get ready to talk a lot.
Yeah.
Or not have many friends.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So?
All right, my turn. Here we go. Right off the top. An easy one. Soft swap.
What's that?
It's a swinging term. Swinging that involves everything except penetrative sex.
Okay.
No P's and B's.
No P's and D's. So, but everything else is good.
You could rub your elbows all over.
Elbow sex,
Mhm.
like Rocky Horror
Oh,
when they
yeah,
have
sure.
elbow sex.
They did. I wasn't thinking of that, but two in a row for me too. We gotta keep it even, don't we?
Sure. Egalitarian.
Alrighty, stepping stone phase. This is a non-monogamous term. A temporary phase in opening up a relationship used to transition towards full non-monogamy.
Okay.
It's a good one.
So this is puts people in the monogamish area.
Right, yeah, this would be like, we're gonna give it a shot. We're in the stepping stone phase. Maybe you'll be allowed to go out on a date, but not, go all the way.
Right.
Middle school rules,
Right.
curfews,
Right.
see how people feel and talk about it.
How do you feel about like the limitations of a partner saying like you can go out and be non-monogamous and it'll be consensual and even ethical and you can do anything except for fall in love.
I don't know. That'll be extremely difficult.
I mean, I think, people like me and we're like free with love.
Right.
So that kind of thing just doesn't even occur to us.
Yeah,
But there are a lot of people who are polyamorous
that is true.
who are with monogamous spouses.
That's true.
They're just understanding. They're monogamous. They're not going to go out and date
Sure.
their spouse, polyamorous, and they're accepting of that as long as they don't fall in love.
But I feel
That's a
like
stepping stone, right?
maybe it's a stepping stone into, I guess, learning that, love is unlimited.
And also that it's not necessarily something you can control.
It's true, yes.
You can't say you can't fall in love with somebody, but you can totally go out and date whoever you want. It if it you take it to places where the oxytocin happens, the love is gonna flow and
That's true.
you can't stop it.
You can't stop.
Okay.
All right.
So we're gonna do maybe oops,
I guess that one.
I guess we're doing this one. I can unfold paper.
She can. I've seen it.
Game changer, a new relationship that disrupts an existing polydynamic.
Ooh.
I don't know. A new relationship that disrupts an existing polydynamic. It's not outside of like possibilities, but I've never experienced that.
Sure. But this is definitely, I could imagine something that would happen.
For sure, yeah, because
Yeah.
people can be problematic sometimes.
Sure. You could have a really like quaint polycule KTP, it could be 3, 4 people, and then all of a sudden here comes unknown agent into the mix that maybe might be ultra wealthy, maybe might be some sort of influencer or something like that. I could see that really shaking things up.
Yeah, for sure. And then like a lot of times, this game changer can happen and shake things up in a bad sort of way.
Oh, right. They could
Mhm.
be
They could come in and then
to drugs.
oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. And, if that's the case, I would hope that everyone in the polycule would kind of come together and like try and help the person get help for the thing that's going on if they're open to that. Or even if they're not, I mean, if they're bad off and you intervention them, that happens. I mean, a polycule is essentially a family
Sure.
and
Yeah,
families do that sort of things.
absolutely.
A new relationship that disrupts an existing polydynamic. So times a person comes in to a polydynamic and then those people fall in love and they just like fall out with everybody else in the poly.
It's true. Yeah, I've seen that before.
Yeah. So sometimes that deep, intense love that's a game changer and maybe not a good way.
Sure. Yeah. Right. Last one.
Last one.
Here we go
Last gravy.
for the night. Demisexual, an identity.
Mm.
An identity on the asexual spectrum where individuals experience sexual attraction only after forming an emotional connection.
Yes. So I don't necessarily know that I feel like demisexual belongs in the asexual spectrum. because I don't find too many people who identify as demisexual who are in any way asexual. So
Right.
like, you identify as demisexual?
To a little bit, yeah. I mean, I need to have an emotional connection
Sure.
to really fully enjoy a sexual connection.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm demisexual to the point that, I don't I've had so many experiences in my life where I felt like people just wanted to experience me, like bungee jumping or
Mm.
samples at Costco.
Sure.
And I like to be valued more than that. So for me, being demisexual is more about how it makes me feel devalued to be sampled and cast
Right.
aside.
Right.
Like, it can be casual, and that's fine with me. I just want to do it for a long time.
Sure.
So that's my brand of demisexual. I am not asexual in any way, in
Right.
my opinion. I'm very sexual. I just need a connection with somebody before I can get there.
So what would be the opposite of demisexual?
The opposite?
Yeah,
Demisexual?
how would somebody behave or act?
I think that probably, well, the opposite, I think maybe just like a different, you know, thing would just be somebody who was just openly sexual to wanna just have sex whenever they want.
So just like a lot of one night stand stuff and
Doesn't even have to be like one night stand stuff, I don't think. I mean, I've had a casual partner who we did not just have one night stands, but we never made it to a relationship.
shit. So is
It just
the
didn't work
emotions not
out.
there.
Well, I think that there was a closeness for
Okay.
sure, but
Right.
I don't think that it was gonna pan out, and, well, now definitely wouldn't because we're 3,000 miles away.
Sure.
So, yeah,
Well, demisexual.
demisexual.
That sounds like that could be a whole chat.
I think we could probably have a whole chat about just being
I think we
demisexual,
could, yeah.
for sure.
For sure.
If you would wanna talk about being demisexual on the podcast, give us a call or send us a message and let us know.
Yep, call us on your telephone, pick up that thing and hit your rotary dial. The numbers displayed below. We got 1-800-MDRN-PLMRY.
The sound was so nice always.
Click, 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 click. We're so old.
Oh my gosh, the rotary phone.
The rotary phone.
Kids don't even know what you're missing. Hi, I'm Jan, and this is Modern Polyamory.
It sure is.
Hi, welcome to Modern Polyamory. I'm Jan. No.
I look crazy. I did like a crazy smile. I was like, hey there, everyone.
We can use that as the still.
Oh, we gotta do a still, right?
It's red flags.
I was like that. Any flags at all?
Flagless.
That'd be great if I had like a little.
Red flag that we could wave. No flags.
Yeah.
Okay.
That would have been handy. We need props, apparently.
Props. We do need props, so go online and give us props.
Give us. Buy our stuff.
Buy our stuff.
There's nothing to buy.
There's nothing to buy.
What would you guys buy from us?
Tell us in the
We'll
comments.
sell it.
Yeah, we'll sell it.
Want some vitamins? Modern polyamory vitamins. It'll be like Spaceballs.
Right?
We'll have everything. Modern polyamory, the toilet paper.
That's what it would be.
Modern polyamory, the shoe.
I don't want people to wipe their ass with my face.
Why would we put your face on the toilet paper?
I don't know.
1, horribly insulting to you. 2, that'd cost a lot to print. Rolls and rolls of toilet paper with just repeating faces on it.
True. All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Modern Polyamory. My name is Jan.
And I'm Kyle.
And we are here today to talk about something a little bit more spicy and I think important to understand too.
And it's also something I think that all relationships or, people dating could benefit from, whether you're polyamorous or not.
It's true. So we are going to go through these.
Well, we got to tell them what we're doing.
Oh, we didn't tell them.
No, we're doing red flags.
And green flags.
Yeah, I do have a few of those on.
And also
it's not all bad.
Non-negotiable.
Sure, yeah. We're going to go over the things you should be looking out for in your partner's behavior that might make you go, ooh.
Right. So what is a red flag?
A red flag is, something that may give you pause in whether you should continue a relationship or not.
Is it a deal breaker?
It can be.
But is it always?
Not always.
Right. And then, so what's a green flag?
Something that you're like, I should make more time for this person because they're doing it right.
Right. And then a non-negotiable?
That would be like pretty much deal breakers.
Right.
Like you can't.
And they're all relative.
Yeah.
They're relative. Something that is a non-negotiable for you may not be for me.
Yeah. Like I could never date someone who maybe abused animals.
Yeah, I couldn't either. That would definitely, really that's a red flag and a non-negotiable.
Absolutely. So what are some red flags?
Well, do you want to talk about personal red flags?
I think we should just like general.
Just in general red flags?
Yeah, and then we can get to our own little niche flag.
So one of the things that I've noticed just in general for me is the guy who always has crazy exes. Like all their exes are crazy.
Right.
There's just like, maybe he's that unlucky, but is he really?
Yeah. Maybe is that an accountability issue?
Or maybe he's driving them crazy.
Maybe he's driving them crazy.
That's where I would go. If every ex that a guy was talking about was like the crazy ex, I would be like, what did he do to those girls?
Absolutely.
To make them crazy.
Right. More often than not, I would say it's a problem with accountability, right? Because when relationships fail, it tends to be a two-part situation. It can definitely be one-sided. There are some situations out there where people do really mess up and earn it. But, having someone refuse to take accountability for their actions is a huge red flag. That will say later on in life when you're dealing with them, and if they've done something wrong, they're not going to take the blame for it. They'll find a way to put it back on you or someone else or something else.
For sure.
Yeah. And that's doesn't sound like fun.
Nope. So another one that I kind of got different ones from different places is they love bomb you and then they ghost you. It's like they make you feel special and then they ghost you.
Huh. I haven't gotten that one a lot.
Yeah, no, you're right. I haven't gotten that one, but it is one that was on the list.
Absolutely. And they could definitely see why this would be a concern if someone is love bombing you. It just maybe their social cues are off and they're not matching where you are in your relationship progress with where you should be.
Right.
They're treating you like you've been married, but it's your third date.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Why are we going so fast? Let's slow down.
Right.
Yeah.
But then sometimes it goes fast and it's right.
Well, I mean, when you're both on the same page.
When you're both on the same page, moving fast is okay.
Yeah.
But if somebody is moving faster than you and you're having to run to catch up,
then that's love bombing.
That's love bombing, for sure. They treat service workers badly.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't want to be going on dates with people like that.
Yeah.
That's just embarrassing.
Yeah, absolutely. Someone who's just going to stand there in a Home Depot and cuss out like a poor store associate. Yeah. They don't know where the spax screws are.
Right. Oh, yeah. You feel drained after spending time with them.
Right. Yeah. Just kind of general, like, I'm getting bad hunches, Right. And that could just be general incompatibility. I wouldn't say that's like a super obvious red flag, but, it's kind of like the creeping red flag.
Yeah, for sure. So what about like some polyamory related red flags?
Let's see, like they refuse to communicate.
Yeah, well, for sure.
Yeah, that would be really bad. 'Cause you can get away with that in monogamy.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can just go out to the shed and avoid.
Avoid it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, but if you go too long without good communication in polyamory, case just kind of get a little awry.
Right, yeah.
People who call themselves ethically non-monogamous but never mention any agreements.
Oh, right, yeah.
Like, these are just people who say, we're open.
Yeah, no, we're doing it.
We're doing it. And then they don't
Let's
talk
do
about it. I saw a story yesterday about a partner who they've turned it around with good communication, which is good.
Sure.
But they had a partner that had kind of cheated, I guess.
Right.
They did it and then immediately said, hey, I did this. I'm doing this. I'm in love with this girl.
Mm-hmm.
They had an emotional affair beforehand.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is not ethical non-monogamy. It may be consensual non-monogamy, but even that is like a gray area if a lot of the action happens beforehand.
Right.
That's a big polyamory red flag.
Sure.
It's not ethical. It's not how you do it. You need to talk about things ahead of time.
Yeah, you got to hit that point where you're like, okay, this is, I'm catching feelings, and that's when you definitely need to talk about things.
They only want threesomes, not relationships.
Oh,
That's
sure.
another one on the list.
Yeah, very much like sexually motivated.
Right.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with only wanting threesomes.
No.
But in polyamory, there's some relational things there.
Right, yeah, because there's a lot of people's emotions are involved. It's not just for fun or play.
Right.
Yeah.
But it is for those things too.
I'd say having, if you're dating someone who's already in a couple, having that couple be very one-sided in their enthusiasm for polyamory.
Oh, right. Yeah.
That's a pretty big red flag. So if you're dating person X and their partner is just like, well, I don't know about this whole polyamorous thing. I guess I'll give it a try because Mark wants to do it.
Yes. Yes. There's also for me, there's like personal red flags. And these are not necessarily things that everyone should look out for because everybody has different tolerance levels. But for me, having a partner who has a spouse who is not polyamorous,
right?
I won't date them.
Yeah, no.
I've done that before, and I won't do it again.
I mean, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, it's just not good.
Yeah,
it's like you're either down with it or you're not.
It's essentially cheating.
Yeah, I mean,
with communication,
it's
weird.
It's
right?
that line between ethical and consensual non-monogamy.
Yeah, absolutely.
One is ethical, one's not.
Mm-hmm.
These are so lame. Let's talk about green flags.
Green flags.
When people get the participation trophy.
Oh, okay.
So, I like to recognize green flags in people because it's people who are doing like good emotional work, right?
Right, yeah.
But I think it's safe to say that it would be a nicer world in general if we were all a little bit more like this.
Sure.
With the green flags.
Sure, yeah. I mean, absolutely, you could go through, and anything we've talked about today, you could just do the opposite.
Do the opposite, and it would be better.
Like, be kind to service workers,
Yes.
Take the blame when it is your fault, If you stepped in it, acknowledge you did, and don't blame the dog.
Yes, exactly. And speaking of that, one of the green flags that was listed was they respect your boundaries the first time.
Yeah.
Like, you don't push and push and push until you are disrespectful and then pull back.
Right.
Just respect the boundaries at the first place. They're emotionally self-aware and communicate. Not that I stumbled over communicate clearly.
Need some coffee.
No. They're emotionally self-aware and communicate clearly.
Yeah. And that one's a hard one because there's no training in life on how to be emotionally self-aware.
No.
I remember long periods of my life, especially in my early 20s, where I didn't know what was going on.
Right.
This was all it was like a foreign language up there, and all that came out was like the raw feelings. Like I didn't know the reasoning behind any of it.
Yeah.
So getting in tune with yourself is definitely a green flag. Take care of yourself. as a
Yes.
green flag.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I like this one because I feel like this is one that we're really good at. You feel safe to be your full weird self around them.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Like just the mask off, as weird as it could get.
Yeah, like, being around someone who can let loose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I want to see the weird shit too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm a firm believer that weird is much more fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
If I can't be weird around you, it's not going to work out.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
I'm kind of weird. They respect your time and your energy. No guilt trips for needing space.
Sure.
I like that one.
That is a good one.
Because we all need it in different ways. They take accountability without defensiveness.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, I hear you, and I'm looking for growth.
Yeah.
Right.
And this goes back to the earlier one we said where they refuse to take accountability or just keep passing the blame.
So let's see some polyamory specific green flags. They speak respectfully about their other partners and metamors.
Yeah, definitely. You don't want to have someone talking shit about your partners.
No, you definitely don't. They talk openly about their relationship style and values.
Sure.
I think that's so important especially in the beginning.
Right.
Because you don't want to get like confused, or you don't want to be dating somebody who their relationship style doesn't match yours, because then it's just a battle to see who's going to absorb who relationship style.
Right. Yeah.
Because if they're not compatible, then they're just not.
They're not.
They're willing to talk about STI testing.
Yeah.
Safer sex practices early on.
That's a huge flag in either direction,
Right.
Like if you don't get your STD tests, that's a big no. And if you do, that's a big yeah.
Yes. We like sexually aware baddies that get tested.
Yeah. And this just, it kind of leans into that. You can let yourself let loose with this person if
For sure.
Not gonna catch the itch.
Exactly. But you also need to make sure that you don't catch a lice.
Oh. Right. Like,
Yeah.
Contraceptives.
Yes.
Yes. If they refuse to use those, and well, then again, boundaries.
Right. Well, one thing in consensual non-monogamy and ethical non-monogamy related things, it's not necessarily polyamory, around STI testing is what happened at the villages during the pandemic.
Oh,
the
right.
Villages in Florida.
The senior villages, right.
They didn't think that they needed to use protection.
Right. They were a bunch of old hippies.
And they were all doing it.
Bumping uglies.
There was a huge spike in gonorrhea and chlamydia in that area.
Sure, yeah. I already knew there were a lot of
65 and over.
I already knew there were a lot of crabs in Florida, but for one summer there were more.
Oh man, it was the pandemic. Everybody was bored. They're like, well, let's go down to Fred and Ethel's and see what they're doing.
What's up with Fred and Ethel?
It was such a great moment for like non-monogamy.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
Florida is kind of a mecca for swinging in non-monogamy, as far as I'm learning.
Along that same line, they model consent culture in and out of the bedroom.
Okay.
The way that they modeled outside of the bedroom at the villages was they hung different colored loofahs from their golf carts to denote what they were into. And they would drive around and kind of advertise with their loofahs. And
that's kind of handkerchief culture.
It goes back to handkerchief.
I showed you that one. So that's a fun episode coming up.
Yeah.
Definitely got to do that.
Yeah.
Kind of obscure.
The history kind of
signals
and signaling
symbols.
Yes. And they're willing to unlearn and grow together.
Right. Yeah. Someone who's, not so firm in their ways that they're not willing to adapt and change.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then somebody who is willing to unlearn and grow and change with their new partners and maybe embrace new ways of being. And that's a huge green flag.
Yeah.
So I want to end today just talking about really briefly a non-negotiable. So all of these red flags and green flags are kind of relative to what you may want or need in a relationship.
I guess if you're really into insulting service workers and your partner is too, you can bond over that.
I mean, yeah, some people are not gonna be. They're also insulting, so
Right? Yeah.
there. But there are some things that are non-negotiables, and non-negotiables are things that, like, if this happens, it's just an immediate stop. So, do you have any of those non-negotiables in your
Well,
style?
I mean, we already covered abuse towards animals. I would say
Right.
just abuse in general.
Yeah.
Anyone who's going to get physically violent with me or a wall or throw things,
Yeah, for sure.
that's a huge no-no. I had partners in the past who opted for that route, and I'm not for it.
Yeah, one of my biggest non-negotiables is I won't date somebody who's an adult and ask, don't tell. It's perfectly okay if you want to be that, but for me, I'm a very open, communicative partner. It doesn't work for me.
Right.
So that's a non-negotiable and an example of why they're all relative.
Yeah.
But so yeah.
So what are some red flags that have taught you a big lesson? Let us know in the comments.
Yes. And also like and subscribe.
Yeah, like and subscribe. And share this with your friends. Tell your friends.
Awesome. So this has been Modern Polyamory. We hope that you enjoyed it. Follow us on the socials, and we will see you next week.
Bye.